Friends of Fruitland Trail. So that's,
I have a handout, I didn't realize I was supposed to give these out ahead of time.
that's okay.
Thanks, Debbie.
So we're about a day before we start,
Anybody have one?
he came to our trails group about 4 years ago, and his intention was to build some trails. I've held him back for 4 years because we have a lot more things to do before we start building trails, but he has worked really hard with us to put this plan together, and I really hope that you'll give it a little considerate. Thanks for coming today, speak for us.
Okay. My first page in here, I'd like to walk you through this presentation documentation. But the first one is just letting you know a little bit about who Fruitland Trails is, Friends of Fruitland Trails is, and what our overall goal is. And here you can see vision, mission, and goal on the first page in here. I'm going to go through this quickly in here. Obviously, you guys can read this at a later date. Existing trails in there. Just to talk a little bit about the Duck Lake State Park. A lot of new trails out in that area. Anderson Woods, very nice area, that beautiful area there, especially this time of year with the fresh snow and stuff like that. And then Michelin Road is deemed a bike path, but it's not signed or marked in here. And that would be a good one to go. That would actually go all the way to the Berry Junction Trail, all the way to Lake Michigan in there. And it's a bike path in there like that. On page 3 in there, I'm talking about potential trails in there, and you see I've highlighted some areas in there. The Michelin, the bike path is highlighted on there. The Anderson Woods is there as well in here. The Eastern Road Park you see is in the yellow in there. I'm unaware that the scenic road bike path down on the bottom in there, which would parallel or extend off of scenic road or scenic drive in there. Couple areas that I'm looking at, and today I'm going to be talking about the natural area in there. But you also see in purple in there the Seminole Trail, which would also go north, is something that could be developed in the future in there. As far as going, there are some easements, right-of-ways to the power line and so forth in there that could be done. But north of Michelin is dirt road now in here, so making that as a path in here is something that could well be done in there. On page 4, we're talking about the natural area in here, and this is the southern portion of it in here, south of Duck Creek. And, this is an area where I would like to start focusing on, and I noticed that on the website that the Township is looking at making a parking lot area in this area right off of Duck Lake Road here. On page 5 in here, talk about the north side, which is comes off of Seminole at the Raleigh-Thompson intersection there, that turnaround in there. And this is the area I think is the most beautiful part of the natural area. And obviously you've got Todd Creek or Shoals Creek. I hear it called both names in there like that, as well as Duck Creek coming out from the bottom. There are 2 old bridges, and you can see the abutments of what used to be there. They're right off the water. This is 2 places in here. I've highlighted them in blue up above and figure 3 up above there. And someday I would like to see those bridges or something of that nature in that area be rebuilt so we can cross Duck Creek and create some trails in here. Developing, and I'd ask you to come around for a minute here. I'd like to do this in 3 phases, if we're getting in there. And what I'd start with is phase 1 would be here. From the parking lot on Duck Lake Road, we go through the trail network out to Duck Creek, back, and make a couple loops coming back in here. I don't have a formal trail of that at this time, but that's something that I would like to pursue going forward in here. I'm looking at doing this, the 2020 was my goal, like that. our goal on this, I'll say our goal, phase 2 would be something 2021 perhaps in here. And this would be coming in phase 2 is what I've highlighted in red. You come in off of there's a parking lot that's currently fenced off in here. You come off of that parking lot, you go around through, and you're going between Todd Creek and you're going back across to Duck Creek in there. There's another loop in here. These trails, some of these trails are already existing. It's 2 tracks from snowmobiles and quads and so forth in there. This area running through here is not trailed in here. I ran a groundhog event last year, and I took people back through here and back all through here down to see the bridges and so forth, and brought them back to the parking lot in here. And it's some very nice views of the creek, a lot of good opportunity in there that I just enjoyed and view the creek. And then phase 3 would be a 2022 project in here where we come up with the bridges, which is obviously where the dollars are going to be in building the bridges and so forth in there. And I'd also like to pursue an easement through the William Jordan property, which would take us out to Orshall Road, so that would be a path that you create, go down Orshall to Riley Thompson, come right up here to the township in here. On the bottom of that page in there, it says trail lane possibilities. One of the trail lane possibilities I'd like to see in there is called the Decaying Trail. He's the one that I'm told is responsible for Township having that problem, so I'd love to see that happen in there. Page 7 is just a little bit of awareness about who we are and what we've been doing in here to get the township aware of what's going on in here. We've had several discovery events. The last one being this summer when we took a walk through Duck Lake State Park and went up the stairs and there and out to and enjoyed a sort of a dismal sunset that night, but it is what it is from Mother Nature here. I've also started a Facebook page, Fruitland Trails Facebook page. I invite you to look at that. I've posted a lot of photos out there, and I keep our events and so forth in there, getting a lot of people looking at it and enjoying that. Page 8 in here, I'm talking about fundraising. Some of the things that we've been doing, we've had a couple events where at the Northside Club where they share the proceeds with our group. So we've been raising some funds in that regard in here. We've also, the Ragnar event, we've had 2 years we've raised funds by helping participate in that. You can also petition for grants as well as on looking for donations on page 9 in there. You see I'm looking donations are possible. The benches there are actually out in Duck Lake State Park. People are willing to make a donation to the trail, build benches, pay for the benches and so forth in here. You'll see the same thing out in the Anderson Woods. There's a couple benches there that were material was donated by Home Depot for that one there. The bridges, I hit them up history in there. I don't know when they were built. I don't know when they were stopped being used or like that. I'm looking for information about that. I have Liam, one gentleman who may be able to help me out with that in here. I will be working with him in there. Like I said at the bottom of page 9, there's existing trails out there. It's going through and formalizing that. On page 10, I've put an action list in here of things I would like to see happen and how we would do this in here. I found this online in here. We're doing some how to build trails in here. And this basically says, like the township continues to own the property. I know that was something that was, the Land Conservancy was something that you were working with. That's over and that's behind us. So I'd like to see this moving forward in here. It says determine who will build the trail. The parking lot is being run out of the township. I see it's on the agenda, discussion on the agenda today in here. I know it's out there for bid. I don't know exactly where that's at, but I'd like to hear more about that and see what the timeline is on that in here. But in the timetable, like I said, phase 1 would be in 2020. And it would be a natural surface trail. It's not a paved trail or not a limestone trail like Anderson Woods is. It would be a natural trail where you scrape back all the leaves and all the natural surface area down to the dirt, and you use that as your pavement in there. Seminole Road parking lot on 2021, reopen that, and then phase 2 would be building a trail across there. And at that time, we would start working with William Jordan to see if that's a possibility of getting an easement through his property there. 2022, the bridge crossing Duck Creek Bridge or bridges may only go for one, may go for two. I don't know. That's something where funds would be available to make that a reality or not in there. But the funds, I'm basically going to look for grants as well as soliciting donations and other awareness events that might bring people forward in here and say, hey, we can do this in here. Producing the trail design. We want to be able to provide a design. If I get the okay to go ahead with this in here, I'd like to come back in March, this work session, with some photos and some layout of where the trail for phase 1 would be in there. Willing to work with the board in any manner that's acceptable to them in there. The next one is permits. Obviously, from my discovery and my conversations with various people in there, that we do not need a permit for like the phase 1 and the phase 2. But phase 3, when we get to the bridges, we'll be down into the floodplain in here. Then we have to get involved in getting permits to make sure that we aren't doing any damage to the area down there. Building bridges as well as the south side of Duck Creek is very, very, very marshy, and you would have to build a raised platform above the water to get to the bridge before you can actually cross the bridge and like that. So that's obviously going to be the biggest portion of the dollars needed for this. Determining how much the project will cost. I don't know exactly where we are on the parking lot, but right now I'm understanding that's on the Fruitland Township in there. It's in the process in here. Building the initial trail, I intend to use volunteer work help to do that in here. One thing that, like Terry said, I've been working with her and others for the last 4 years. One of the things I get is when you get ready to build a trail, let me know. There's a lot of people that are saying, okay, I'm in for it.